So this isn't for a national dish, but this is all the leftovers after making all of China's national dishes, plus a couple things from Thanksgiving leftover, you know, like the thyme and rosemary, which I actually don't think I'm gonna put in this. I feel like they're gonna contrast with the large quantity of mostly Asian flavors that are going into this, so these might just be shot. You can probably add them, we'll see about that, but I want to teach you guys the art about making soups, all right? That's what you do when you have just a comical amount of leftover random ingredients. You put it all into a soup. I'm gonna level with you. As long as you don't cross like flavor profiles too much, you can put anything into a soup and it's gonna come out pretty dang good, right? That's why I'm getting rid of the thyme and the rosemary in this. Those are for Thanksgiving anyways. Maybe I'll put them in something, maybe they'll go bad. I hope they don't, but this is how you get rid of comical amounts of ingredients, all right? So to start, we don't need to put the vegetables in first. They're gonna cook way faster, right? Way faster than everything else. Now things like bean sprouts, these have already turned. These gotta go. They can't go into the soup. Sorry, bean sprouts. When you're starting up a soup, you want to put in your proteins first. The raw proteins, to clarify, because there are cooked proteins over here of leftover turkey and ham from Thanksgiving. That's going in here. I know I just said we're not putting Thanksgiving stuff in here, but I am. I lied to you. Just not using Thanksgiving spices, because that will ruin the profile of the soup. Like I said, you want to stick to one kind of concept when making a soup. It doesn't need to be just a single thing. So that's the leftover pork from before, and this is the other half of those chicken thighs. Honestly, with how these are slit already, they'll probably break apart perfectly fine in the soup. So I really don't think we needed to even put them on the cutting board and ruin the cutting board. The raw proteins are now in there. So these are gonna have to cook and, like, you know, actually cook through. Most of the vegetables will not take very long to integrate into the soup, but the meat definitely will. So this is actually the leftover soup from the lion mane meatballs, that broth that we made. I'm going to add that into here. This is the rest of that ginger scallion water that we had to make to go into the meatballs, I'm pretty sure. It smells fantastic. We're just gonna add the whole thing in. This is the rest of the soup from the bamboo shoots as well. Try to not get the bamboo shoots in there because they will probably disintegrate if we put them in too early. This nub of ginger can go in as well. And I think that's it for what needs to go in now for the first initial cook. I know I pulled everything out, and that was mostly just to make the video look cooler in the beginning, but we're gonna let this cook for about an hour and come back and check on it. Okay, so it's been an hour. Pull out the ginger nub. We don't need that. Also, taste your broth at this point. See how it tastes. Is it delicious? Good. That is hot. If you see some juice here, it's because I pulled out the big old chunks of pork that I threw in there that was frozen. I just chopped it up. It's just ground pork, right? Get your garlic. This is where things start to get kind of random, right? We're just throwing everything that we have into this soup. As much of it that will fit. To be honest, we might have to remove some liquid with the amount of vegetables I'm trying to throw in there. Either that or that whole cabbage isn't going in. Not really sure. Nothing needs to be chopped really all that fine, right? There's a very good chance that this garlic probably is just gonna absolutely disintegrate into the soup broth. Try not to drop it all over the floor though, because if you drop it on the floor, it will not end up in the soup, right? That is just factual. That is just the truth of what will happen. Once you feel like it's chopped enough, get it in the soup. Oh man, it's making me cry. Get it in the soup. Got 2 big leeks. Which I can tell you right now, these are the sandiest things on the planet. I literally just ripped off one layer and it was just full of sand. That is so hot. I need to stop grabbing that. The leeks in the soup. Rinse off the cutting board to get all that sand out of there. We have some bell pepper pieces. The rest of this Napa cabbage. And that's probably all that's gonna fit in there. This might become a layered soup where we pull some soup out of the soup and then add more soup to the soup. Actually, that's exactly what this is gonna be. It's gonna be a layered soup with more soup layers. So this is round 1 of soup, right? Let's just add in the white parts of these green onions. Once again, this is just very rough chopped. We don't need to make things very nice. It's all going into soup, you know? This might be a mistake, but I like beans in my soup. That might have been a mistake. I'm just gonna be honest. This is looking very full now. But we'll see how it goes. Put it on the soup pressure, cook it for 20 minutes. See how it comes out. All right, so it's been 20 minutes. as you can see, all the vegetables have pretty much wilted down, and we've successfully created soup. You might let it go for a little bit longer if you would like, but I don't think it really needs it. So I'm gonna get one layer of soup out first, just like a pint's worth into this cup. And here's where things get fun now that we pulled that out. There's a bunch of other stuff that I want to add into this soup that doesn't necessarily need to cook, like all that onion. I've added raw onion into my soups many a times, and it comes out great because here's the thing. It cooks down a little because of how hot this is, right? If you mix it through like I am right now, those onions will cook just enough and they'll keep a bit of a crunch. Also, I don't eat my soup immediately. I'm just gonna level with you. That's why I put it in these containers. I freeze it, right? So I take my soup and I throw it in the freezer and I eat it for lunch throughout the week because I don't want to cook lunch every weekday when I'm at work. It's just no fun. So I believe the process now is pull a pint out and then add stuff in. Add in stuff that's already cooked into the broth. Okay, ham going in. That's from Thanksgiving. Green onion, the green parts of the green onions, into the pot. Leftover turkeys going in. All right, and now we have a problem. The liquid to solid ratio is all off in this soup now. It is far too full. So repeatedly burn your hands as you rotate it to see the line. All right, it's time to alter the soup, primarily because I just want to show you how little you can screw soups up as you make them. Dark soy sauce, throw a little bit in. I'm gonna change the color up by a lot, so keep that in mind. Light soy sauce, fermented black bean sauce, oyster sauce, black vinegar, cooking wine, and Shaoxing wine. And top it off with just some chicken stock that I have left over from Thanksgiving as well. I use these in the potatoes. Oh, also I added in the rest of the dried mushrooms from the bamboo shoot video. I did that off camera though. And we're just gonna let this go for 10 minutes, doesn't need long. Also, let's give this soup a taste test here. Delicious. It's a fantastic soup. I actually only let it go for 5 minutes because I forgot how long it takes to build up pressure. Now look at that. A lot of ham chunks broke apart. The turkey broke apart. It's more homogenous, you know? I also have like this half a cube of tofu from the Lion's Mane meatballs, so might as well add that in as well. Oh wow, the cabbage actually broke down a lot in that 5 minutes into little bits. That's crazy. It looks so different now. That hurt. That hurt. Burnt myself there. Honestly, I should have saved those green onions if I was going to pressure cook it again, because as you can see, they lose a lot of their color. You can really see the difference before I cooked it another 5 minutes and after, where a lot of these chunks of cabbage are just gone, right? They vaporized into the soup. And then there you go. There's all the soup that it made. Each of these are a pint. So we got like, what, 14 pints here, plus a little bit extra. This wasn't quite enough to fill up another. It was a little short, and I want to try it. Fantastic. It's a great soup. It's a lot more mild in flavor. All that extra sauce that we added in really changed the flavor profile. This is a little bit on the salty end for me, personally. Actually, I take it back. God, that is good soup. Okay, so to continue showing the soups in action, it's now the next day. I'm gonna show you how we heat this stuff up. So it's really a soup concentrate more than anything. What you do is you take out your block, run it under some water, get it into a bowl. You can mic it in that bowl. It just works better when there's more air. Mic it for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, grab some rice. I have a frozen block of rice. Get that going for 3 minutes. And now we're just gonna break this up because most of it is kind of frozen together while some of it on the outside is just absolutely boiling. So you wanna try and split it into at least 2 different pieces there. Now most of my soups are really just soup concentrates. They need to be watered down a good bit, right? Because like, look how thick this is. You can drink it straight, but this one is pretty salty. It's pretty thick. I'm gonna say water it down, add in about a cup of water or stock. I actually have stock, but like I said, this one's kind of salty. Grab this, into the microwave, 3 more minutes. Sometimes I do only cook the rice for like 2 minutes, like heat it back up for 2 minutes so it's still a little frozen, still a little cold. And then I throw it in and mic it in here for this last 3 minute mic because then it absorbs more broth. Probably should have done that this time, but hey. We're here now. Okay, remember that ginger scallion oil that we made? I made it into chili oil. So we're gonna add in a spoonful of chili oil and then the rice. Oh God, that's hard with one hand. And mix it up. And there you go. That's the soup done. That's how I serve it, at least to myself. I don't serve this to anybody else. It's just me. I'm the only one who eats my soups. I make them in bulk. I'm not even lying to you guys. In the freezer, there's other soups. There's like 2 other soups. I have a soup shelf in there that just holds, I think it's like 3 gallons of soup. And I normally keep that bad boy full. When it starts to get low, I make a new batch like I just did here. Anyways, that's it for this style of video here. I'm gonna do some more of them, right? Like we have the onion one going over there. I wanted to do pickled red onion too, but I'm out of vinegar. which is wild because I literally keep pickled red onion in my fridge at all times that I make once a month, and I just happen to be out for the beginning of this month here. So I'll have to wait until I go to the store, but I'll film it and you'll see that one too. So there's at least 3 of these more basics videos. Hope you like them.